in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne back here at Radio Center along with Matthew Lester. I want to say thank you very much to Matthew, Jonathan Dent, and Charlie Rood for sitting in over the past few days as we had the opportunity to travel south where they haven't had a whole heck of a lot of rain down there either, and talk a little bit about the weather as well here in Michigan and in Alabama and in areas to the immediate east and west. It's been a very quiet Gulf so far this hurricane season, and it does appear as though they're not really looking at much of anything coming at them for the next several weeks. So hopefully those folks, not only in that state, but also in the southeastern part of the continental United States and Florida, continue to build after all the devastation in the past couple, 3 years of seeing quite a few severe weather systems move through that area. Right now, we're experiencing a couple of things as hopefully we're going to get some rain out of them. But before we get into that forecast, Matthew, still above average as far as our temperatures go. What have you got right now?
Currently, over at the airport, it's cloudy at 67. Over in Midland, it's cloudy at 68. Here at Radio Center, it's partly sunny, also at 68. We have west winds at 5 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.97, and it's rising.
We should be at 71 for this time of the year. I think we're probably going to hit about 73, possibly 74. Clouds, we're not going to have much of anything in the way of sunshine, and there will be some scattered showers around as we go through the day, the afternoon, and into the evening hours tonight. Again, I want to emphasize the word scattered and light. We're not anticipating any heavy precipitation here in the immediate Great Lakes Bay area, but some folks over the last 24 hours did pick up a little bit of rain. Very common for us so far this morning to see over the last 24 hours anywhere from 1 to 3 1/100ths of an inch of rain in the immediate Great Lakes Bay area, but you start to branch out a little bit more in the way of precipitation. Not so much in Lansing, but north and northwest of Lansing, they picked up right around a half inch of rain over the last 24 hours. You go over in Michigan's Thumb, anywhere between, let's say, Ubley and Bad Axe in Huron County, talking about a third of an inch, maybe as much as 4/10ths of an inch. And again, we're talking just over the last 24 hours. Linwood picked up about 14/100ths of an inch. But back to Huron County, you get in that northeastern part of Huron County, Port Hope, with a measuring station there, 84/100ths of an inch in the last 24 hours. Taking a look at the Grand Rapids area, a little bit further to the west, 44/100ths of an inch. Then you go south of Flint, between Flint and Brighton, Heartland, in that particular area. When you travel down 23, 7/10ths of an inch there. Let's head up north, Rose City. Rose City specific, a little bit better than a half inch. But you travel toward Plainfield, which is east of Rose City. In between those two cities, 1.4 inches of rain has fallen in the last 24 hours. That's probably the most that I've seen from a lot of the reporting stations that we have immediate access to. Barely a trace, 1/100th of an inch, the back 40 in Richville. Obviously, we need more. And it does appear as though we're going to have a much better chance of an overall rain, not so much tonight, but during the day tomorrow. Plenty of clouds, spotty precipitation, scattered. That's the way it's been so far today. That's been the story, but there is a low pressure system overhead right now. That is the reason why we have seen a south breeze. And as Matthew said, we're looking at pretty much a calm breeze right now because the wind is going to be changing just a little bit in direction. The low overhead will be moving in an east-northeasterly direction. So as we get into the later afternoon, we're going to see a light northeast breeze. And tonight it'll be light northeast, about 5 miles per hour. That's going to be it. Still, some scattered showers are in the forecast. Now, during the day tomorrow, we're still going to continue to see that northeast breeze right around 10 miles per hour. We're going to see the development of a low-pressure system, which will be developing over Oklahoma and Arkansas, northern Arkansas. That low is going to be gathering some moisture, and it is going to be gathering some strength. So as we go through the day tomorrow, the chances of an overall shower become much greater. The shower activity is going to be bubbling up through the Ohio River, well, the Tennessee Valley, the Ohio River, and then eventually bubble up into Michigan. So the precipitation pattern is going to be northbound. It's going to be coming from the south and moving almost right straight north. Clearing, though, as far as the precipitation amounts, as we go into the late afternoon tomorrow and tomorrow night. The low pressure system causing all of it will be over southern Illinois tomorrow. And eventually what it will do is it will move over toward Lake Erie and Lake Ontario as we move into the day on Thursday. So what are we looking at today? 73 degrees with plenty of clouds. We could get a glimpse of sun, and that would cause that temperature to spike a little bit more. And then tonight, scattered shower activity is in the forecast, looking for a low only of 59. 49 is what's average for this day. As we go into the day tomorrow, clouds, bubble up shower activity, 71 for a high tomorrow, 57 for a low tomorrow night. So still we're going to be running above normal on average. Then on Thursday, sun as the day goes on. There will be some clouds, though, to start the day on Thursday, and there will be a little bit of a chance of some spotty light rain, especially early in the day on Thursday. Thursday's high should be right around 72. Thursday's low will be 54. Then moving into the, Friday and then into the weekend, we're going to be looking once again at mostly sunny skies, mid to upper 70s as far as temperatures go for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Nighttime lows, 55 on Friday night, 49 on Saturday night, 50 for a low on Sunday, and 50 for a low on Monday. So what does all of this mean? A continuation of some very dry conditions here in the Great Lakes Bay area. At last count, 70% of the topsoil moisture was rated poor to very poor. Subsoil moisture, 70% as well, poor to very poor. So obviously, we do need some rain. The soil will be able to take up quite a bit of rain. A lot of the small rivers and streams are right down to the bare bottom in most cases, just barely enough water for a fish or two to work its way through, but that's it. And it looks as though that trend is going to continue all the way through the 5th of October, because the long-range outlook to take us through October 5th is for below to much below normal precipitation, temperature-wise above to much above normal. So if there was ever a reason why you should be irrigating or if you should be watering, obviously now is the time. And folks like Jerry Somalski and Chuck Cervinsky have been telling us all along, water, water, water. And it's imperative, especially if you have tender foliage plants that you've put in last spring, last summer, or putting in this fall. And in many cases, some of the older plants are showing a little bit of stress as well, as witnessed by some of the trees, some of the maple trees. They're losing their leaves right now, which is kind of unusual for it to be happening on the first day of fall, which was yesterday. Does appear as though we're going to continue to be in this dry spell, and it more than likely will take us through the first 10 days of October. Where should we be this time of the year? As we said, 71 for a high, 49 for a low. The record high in this state is 95. That was set back in 2017, where we had 6 straight days of record-breaking high temperatures. It started with the 21st and went all the way through the 26th of September. On the 21st, our high was 93. The 22nd, it was 94. The 23rd, it was 95. The 24th, it was 94. The 25th, it was 90. And the 26th was 93. All record high temperatures. And obviously, the warmest ever 23rd was in 2017. The coolest ever, you got to go back to 1989. 51 was our high, 37 was our low. Sun will set this evening at 7:31, rise tomorrow morning at 7:26. And a year ago on this day, 68 was our high, 55 was our low. That's a look at what's going on with our weather. We'll be talking a little bit more about it as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, though, Matthew, who do we have?
Coming up next, we have Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But this reminder, the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at RoofMax. AskBenHow.com. I went there. I did it. I asked him. He came out. I got a free roof assessment. He told me that my 21-year-old roof was in pretty good shape. Really didn't have to worry too much about it. Said that he'd put a few more years on that roof with the RoofMax product. And then he told me about a couple of things that I probably should have fixed on the roof. I don't need a new one, but there's a few things I should be taking a look at. And he did it. He decided to take care of whatever had to be taken care of up there. And then he applied the RoofMax product. Saved me thousands of dollars and one big headache. That was what it was all about. Safe, quick, a transferable warranty was available to me. Remember, you maintain a lot of things that you have either around your home or what you rely on to get you from your home to wherever you want to go. Well, your roof is no different. It needs maintenance, and RoofMax does deliver. 989-859-6751. That's the telephone number. AskBenHow.com if you want to research the product, because remember, a little care today is going to save you a whole lot more tomorrow. AskBenHow.com. RoofMax. 989-859-6751. We say good morning to Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. And Melinda, I happened to take a look at the markets in my transport here yesterday afternoon. And man, the soybeans got rocked yesterday. What's going on today?
Yeah, we have a USDA grain stocks and grain quarter stock summary coming out here in just a little bit. A lot has to do with that. Also, not only are we looking at another report that could rock this market, we are also looking at bean oil and bean meal down. Still trade is hindering on the fact that export demands are still a concern. We're on our fourth consecutive day of being down. Crop Progress saw soybean ratings fall 2 points from last week at 61% good to excellence compared to 64% a year ago, and harvest is now 9% this year compared to 5% a week ago. Corn futures trading lower again following Argentina's announcement to scrap taxes on export sales until the end of October. Crop progress conditions for corn are at 66% good to excellence this week compared to 65% a year ago. We're at 11% of the crop harvested, which compares to 7% a week ago, and the average is 13%. So very close to on pace there. with corn. A lot of eyes are on trade and export, and that seems to be the biggest story until we get something on. But we did get another flash sale of corn to Mexico. So it's great news for the corn market, but it's still hindering on if we could get some bean exports out for soybeans.
I was taking a look at the crop progress report, and I did notice that corn here in Michigan has dropped a little bit in quality or in terms of crop condition. About 14% now is rated poor to very poor. Some of that fair report dropped into the poor to very poor condition as far as corn goes. And we're seeing obviously right on schedule the denting. And as far as the maturation goes, we're a little bit ahead there, but not much. But still, this dry weather is really having an effect on the markets.
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, you talked about a little bit before we were having dry weather, and now we're trying to start soybean harvest, and it seems the rain has turned on a little too late to really get bean harvest up and running here this week. But it looks like this weekend we'll definitely be into bean harvest, and with the rain helping push beans along, we should roll right into the later day beans as early beans are finishing up. So the dry weather is definitely going to be interesting once we get combines rolling to see where yields are. And the weather was so spotty across central Michigan that it was really dependent on your soil type that to really see where yields are going to be.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing in some cases dry beans. I've seen harvesting from the time that I left Michigan till I came back. But there's a lot of beans out there that there's no leaves on them, and they're still out there. I got a funny feeling the dry beans are a little dry.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the dry beans have been coming in drier than I think they'd like. I think, don't quote me, I'm not a dry bean gal, but I believe 18% is a magic number, and they've been seeing them under 15 for the majority. So
Yeah.
definitely seeing some dry beans there for sure.
We sure have. So right now on the board, what do you have, Melinda?
Yeah, nearby here for new crop 25, corn delivery, we're at 365. April 26 delivery, 405. New crop of 26, $4. New crop 25 soybeans, 940. New crop 26 soybeans, 989. July red wheat for 2026 at 495, and July white wheat at 515.
You take care. Have a great day, Melinda.
Thanks, you guys too. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Talk to you on Thursday. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The Market Report brought to you by Legendary Tree Care. You need some trimming done. How about tree removal? It's a good time to be doing it. You need Legendary Tree Care. Remember, no job is too big or too small. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in those big projects. Check them out. Find out more about them. Like them on Facebook or go to legendarytreecare.com. Market Report also brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor. They understand how your life and job both stop if that tractor stops running. Alice Chalmers, Case, Cockshut, Ford, International, John Deere, Massey, Minneapolis, Moline, Oliver. They keep a warehouse stocked with new parts for old tractors. You get the idea. They've got just about anything and everything. 800-234-3280 or go to their website at steinertractor.com. Say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, how we doing?
We're doing wonderful. How you doing?
Not too bad. Southern part of the United States. Regular unleaded gas is $2.49.
Must be Republicans down there.
Yeah. No, I was told that they're closer to the pipeline. So that's the reason why it's so inexpensive. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All I know is I got back here and add $1 to what it was down there.
Now, who was the guy that said close all the pipelines and shut down? I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway,
I don't want to remember who it would be. Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, the Dow Jones hit a new high today. The S&P hit a new high today, all time. Gold hit an all-time high today. That got to 37.92 today. So that's hot. Silver multi-year high today. Platinum, I'm not sure about if it's an all-time high or not, but it's certainly a high for the year, up almost $71 today. So that's hot. Crude oil's fairly hot, and the stocks surrounding crude oil, Apache, Murphy, Baker Hughes, all those guys are really rocking today. Halliburton up 8%. So apparently there's money to be made in that business at this point in time. Here's your numbers. Could change. Could change tomorrow. December corn is 424 3/4, up 3. The March corn 441 3/4, up 3. November soybeans 1012 3/4, up 1 3/4. The January soybeans 1032 1/2, up 2. December wheat is 519 1/2, up 8 3/4, and the March wheat 538, up 8 1/2. The crude oil is 63.24, up $1.34. Heating oil 233 1/2, up a nickel. Gasoline 194.13, up 2.3 cents. Natural gas is 310 1/2, up 0.8 of a penny. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3833 Canadian, that's up 15 ticks. The dollar buys 147.87 yen, up 16 ticks. The euro's at 117.94, down 8 ticks. And the dollar's at 97.38, up 4 ticks. Gold's at 37.80.50, up $35.70. Silver's 44.17, up 33 1/4 cents. Platinum's 15.17, up 71.70. Copper's at 4.58, up 0.7 of a penny.
Okay. It could change next hour. I want you to know.
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
We'll talk to you later, Doug. Take care.
Yeah.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. Vic Huffer, he's got a lot of information out there to share. You want a one-on-one with him, give him a call. Remember, Freeland Bean and Grain, they are your Dairyland Seed headquarters. They've been serving you since 1983. And that's what it's all about. Serving you is their business at Freeland Bean and Grain. Market Report also brought to you by Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. And Jerry, we talked about it. Water, water, water. I have to imagine that's a part of what we're talking about today. Also, a few other things that we could be doing.
Yeah, Terry, even though with the rain, and again, we had 6/10, good amount of rain, the deep water is not there. So newly planted plants within the last couple of years don't give up watering. They still need it. But as far as this time of year, this is turf season. One of the best things you can do, we're going to start talking about this again more as we go on, but the best thing you can do to soils is add organic matter. Well, hard to do that with turf, right? But if you mulch up your grass clippings and mulch up your leaves, that's adding organic material to the ground, and that does wonderful things. So just a preemptive, if you're getting ready for the fall, get that mulching blade out or get your blade sharpened up so that when you're mulching up all those leaves and letting them lay, you're going to do good things for your lawn, good things for the soil.
Good suggestion. Jerry, thank you so much. You have a great day, okay?
Yes, sir.
Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. The topic of conversation over the past few years has been student loans. Along with me right now, Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo. And Eric, with that big, beautiful bill that came out, how did it address the student loan situation?
Yeah, Terry, it's actually some significant changes to student loans, all sides of the coin. Just to kind of give you a quick summary, a few things that we're looking at is really limiting the amount of loans that will be available, especially for graduate students. There will be no more of the Grad Plus loans after July of next year. So starting next school year, I guess it would be. And then Parent Plus loans will also be limited. So they'll be capped at $20,000 a year and $65,000 for a lifetime. So some of the availability of those loans that was there before will be gone. I think they're really trying to keep people from over borrowing and kind of being buried. But that's something to consider going forward. There will be new borrowing limits as well on grad students and professional students, so those going into the medical field. Just the amount that they can borrow will be capped. Then repayment plans. That was something that's been going on when Biden was in office. We had a lot of changes to the repayment options. There are currently like 5 different repayment options if you have student loans. They're getting rid of the majority of those and going to 2, which is one will be mostly just a normal repayment, standard repayment plan, and the other one would be limited to 10% of your income and payable over 30 years. So a little more of an income-based approach, but it'll be pared down to just the 2 options going forward. Again, next July is when that goes into effect. But then we're also looking at a couple other big changes. The FAFSA, if you're applying for financial aid, in the past, you had to include the value of your family farm, or if you owned a small business, those had to be included as assets. That's not going to count against financial aid going forward. So that could be a big help for some of those family owning farms going forward as far as applying for financial aid. And then the last thing just for today, the taxability of forgiveness. So we heard a lot about student loan forgiveness over the last few years, and the American Rescue Plan had made that not taxable. That sunsets at the end of this year, 2025. So after this year, if any student loans are forgiven, we're back to the old rules of being taxable. So just be aware, if that's going to happen, you want that to happen in 2025. Any forgiveness after that, you're going to have to pay tax on the amount of the loan that's given. So that's a significant change, just looking at it from a tax perspective.
Oh, it sure does.
Yeah. So just a lot to plan, whether you're borrowing, repaying, or maybe getting forgiveness on it.
All right. Eric, thank you so much. We appreciate it. You take care. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company. What's going on in New York?
Good morning. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 61 points at 46,442, 400 million shares traded. NASDAQ down 72 points at 22,716, 697 million shares traded. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 474.85, up 275. Deere 470.68, up $1.65. CMS Energy 70.64, up 21. Dow 23.47, up 30. DuPont 78.29, up 3. Corteva 70.18, up 43. General Motors 59.11, up 23. Trinzio 258, down a penny. Walmart 101.62, down $1.19. Huntington Bank 17.46, up 13. Independent Bank 31.56, up 24, and AT&T at 28.61, down 31.
Teresa, thank you so much. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.